There was once a Zen master who lived in a small house on a hill. One day, a former student arrived with a gift, a crystal cup. It was breathtakingly beautiful, perfectly clear, and so thin it felt like holding a breath of air. The master was truly grateful. He used the cup every single day for his tea. When visitors came, he would hold it up to the light, letting the rainbows dance on the walls, and tell them of the kindness of the student who had sent it. But there was a secret to his joy. Every morning, before his first sip, the master would hold the cup in his hands, close his eyes, and whisper to himself, "This glass is already broken." Years passed. One afternoon, the house was full of guests. A visitor, moving a bit too quickly, caught the edge of the shelf with his sleeve. The cup wobbled, tipped, and fell. It hit the stone floor with a sharp, crystalline ring, shattering into 1,000 tiny pieces. The room went silent. The visitors gasped in shock, their eyes darting to the master, expecting a flash of anger or a heavy sigh of grief. But the master didn't flinch. He didn't even look sad. He simply looked at the glittering mess at his feet, smiled gently, and said, "Ah, yes, let's begin." He picked up a broom and began to sweep. As he moved slowly across the floor, the sound of glass brushing stone filled the room, soft, steady, almost like rain. One of the guests finally broke the silence. "Master," the man said carefully, "that cup was priceless. Weren't you attached to it?" The master paused, leaning lightly on the broom. He looked around the room, at the faces before him, some uneasy, some curious, some confused. "I was attached to drinking tea," he replied. "I was attached to light passing through it. I was attached to gratitude." He bent down and lifted a single shard between his fingers. It caught the sunlight just as the cup once had, throwing a small rainbow onto the wall. "But I was never attached to the idea that it must remain." He placed the shard back on the floor and continued sweeping. "You see," he said, "when we believe something is unbreakable, we live in fear of the moment it proves us wrong. But when we accept that everything is already broken, our possessions, our plans, our bodies, even our hearts, then each moment they remain with us becomes a gift, not a guarantee." The visitors listened closely now. "I loved that cup fully," the master continued, "because I did not ask it to last forever. I only asked it to be what it was, for as long as it was." When the floor was clean, the master set the broom aside and returned to the table. He poured tea into a simple, chipped clay bowl and raised it gently. "The cup did not ruin this moment," he said with a calm smile. "It completed it." The guests bowed, not to the broken glass, but to the quiet wisdom left behind. Everything you love, people, moments, success, health, peace, exists on borrowed time. When you accept this truth, you stop clinging and start living. If you treat life as permanent, you live in fear of loss. If you treat life as fragile, you live with gratitude. Love deeply without possession. Enjoy fully without demanding forever. Care without control.